I'm guessing you're here because your life is in a rough patch right now. Maybe things were going well for a while and you were taking care of yourself, making friends, and thinking positively. But then a bunch of bad things happened one after another and sent you into a deep hole. Or perhaps your whole life has felt like a never-ending nightmare, with no purpose and no motivation to improve yourself. I can relate to some extent because not too long ago, I was in a similar situation. I didn't have many friends, had barely any money, was failing in school, and had a very low sense of self-worth. Alright, let me be real with you. I asked myself a tough question. I imagined a scenario where I had absolutely nothing going for me. No friends, no cash, out of shape, a complete shut-in, and hating myself. Then I set out to answer how I would dig myself out of this pit of despair. I wanted to simulate exactly what I would do to unscrew my life. So before I even attempt to make any progress in my life, I need to establish a clear direction that is unique to me. But if you don't choose your purpose yourself, someone else will choose it for you. This is where taking control of your life begins, by creating your own purpose. The evening before embarking on my path towards escaping my current situation, I would jot down precisely why I desire a different lifestyle and the person I aim to be. In identifying my motivation, I considered Maslow's hierarchy of needs. This concept, introduced by the psychologist Abraham Maslow, outlines the different levels of human motivation that resemble a pyramid, ranging from basic physiological needs at the bottom to self-actualization at the top. Within the various levels of human needs, there are some fundamental things that all individuals require to feel satisfied and secure in their lives. Therefore, when writing down my purpose, I made sure that it aligns with one of these basic needs and is descriptive enough to avoid any confusion. I recently took some time to jot down my why in my diary, and I want to share what I wrote and why I wrote it. Looking back to when I first started focusing on my self-improvement and daily activities, I wish I had started with something similar. I wake up every day feeling exhausted and drained, so my first goal is to feel energized and ready to take on the day. I also want to appreciate my body for what it is and feel good about myself. According to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, this would fulfill my needs for safety and love and belonging. A fulfilling job that positively impacts the world and supports me financially is also important to me. Additionally, I crave close friendships where we can relax and lift each other up. Ultimately, I want to live in the present and enjoy every moment of life, rather than just focus on the result. So the first step towards transformation is to create a new identity or the person you aspire to become. Simply being yourself is not enough if you are unhappy with who you are and the negative things people say about you. You may have unique gifts and interests, but if you haven't figured them out yet or are not using them positively, you need to mold the idea of the person you can become in your head. Visualize what this person looks like, the self-talk they engage in, the type of life they live, and what it would take to get there. Writing down bullet points for this new identity can provide a good foundation to build upon and transform yourself into this new person. Now let's talk about the crucial part of stage 1, the next smallest step. This is where the real change starts to happen, and it's super important. Once you've mentally prepared yourself for the journey ahead, it's time to take that next small step toward becoming your new identity. The reason we focus on taking small steps is that we want to make the process as easy and actionable as possible. Many people get stuck when they start thinking about the bigger picture and how long it will take to get there. It's not helpful to overwhelm yourself with too many changes at once, so you should focus on no more than 2 gradual changes at a time. Don't try to adopt every new habit at once, or you'll end up feeling overwhelmed. Alright, let's talk about the next small step that you can take toward improving your life. Starting tomorrow morning, you're going to challenge yourself to not use your phone for the first hour of the day. This might seem like a small step, but it can make a big impact on your productivity and well-being. To help you stay on track, try hiding your phone in another room during the first hour. Remember, the key is to focus on completing the small step first before moving on to anything else. Once you've successfully completed this challenge, you can move on to the next smallest step, which we'll call hang it up. Before I hit the hay, I'm going to take out the sheet where I wrote down my reasons for change and my new identity and stick it on my wall using tape. This way, I will always be reminded of why I'm doing this, where I'm heading, and who I'm trying to become. Now let's begin day 1 of getting out of this massive rut. Good morning. Today marks the beginning of my journey to get up this deep rut I'm in. To kick off my day, I've already refrained from using my phone for the first 30 minutes, and I plan to continue this for the next hour. Moving forward, I will write down 3 achievable goals every day to work towards becoming the person I want to be. And every time I accomplish something, no matter how small, I will mark it with a W on this board to signify my progress towards my desired identity. I'm already off to a good start today because I managed to resist using my phone. I'm going to keep track of my progress throughout the day by marking down whether each action I take is a win or a loss, no matter how small, as long as it's helping me become the person I want to be. One of my goals for the day is to get 30 minutes of movement, so I'm going to head outside for a walk and count that as a win. With that walk completed, I'm adding another win to the board. Let's keep racking up those wins today. Later on, I would usually head to my part-time job as a buzzer, which is what I was doing when things were really rough. And when I get back, I'm going to do a simple at-home workout. Even if you've never been to the gym before, doing a few exercises at home is a great way to get started. Even though it may seem like a big accomplishment, once I completed my second goal and achieved another win, I set my sights on the next objective: writing a script for a YouTube video. Why am I doing this? Because even if I had to start over, I would still choose to pursue my passion for creating YouTube content. And in order to do that, I need to write a script to guide me through the recording process. Let's say I made some progress today. Overall, I have 4 wins and 1 loss for the day. I want to work on my conversation skills, so I decided to say hi to a stranger at the grocery store while swapping out unhealthy foods for healthy ones. It was a nice conversation, and I'm counting it as a win. Remember, we're not aiming for perfection here because that can be limiting. As I progress through my journey of self-improvement, I constantly ask myself, what's the next smallest step I can take? And eventually I started to see progress. Following the routine of taking the next smallest step and adopting good habits helped me move smoothly toward my new identity. I would eventually hit roadblocks and experience self-doubt within the first couple of weeks. Failing, messing up, and losing motivation was inevitable while trying to improve myself. But I learned that what sets successful people apart is their ability to keep pushing forward, even during tough times. This is the crucial moment where you need to analyze where your self-talk is negative. Who taught you to think that way? How to become more mindful of when it occurs and how to change it into a more positive mindset. So in my How to Overcome It journal, I'm going to analyze my negative thoughts when I start feeling like I'm slipping back. I know I used to feel like I could accomplish anything, but at some point I was conditioned to believe that I won't amount to much. Instead of giving into these dip thoughts, I need to adopt a growth mindset and transform them into more positive ones. If I continue to push forward, I can make even more progress than I already have. This journey will have its challenges, but I am committed to staying consistent and will see massive changes in a few months. Even though I still have negative thoughts, I've learned how to deal with them properly. I won't let them take over me and stop me from putting in the work. Keep at it for a few months and you'll start feeling better with higher energy levels, better mood, and overall well-being. It may not necessarily get easier, but it will be easier to stick to what you've adopted. Wherever you are in life, you can look back and smile, knowing that you were able to pull yourself out of the deep rut. All it took was taking the first smallest step. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, but more than anything, I hope it inspires you to take action and start making real progress in life. Thank you again for your support, and I'll catch you all in the next one.